Good afternoon. It's Friday the 16th of April, back in the Reading Nook on what is a bright, sunny day with, of course, a cup of tea and some screaming children in the background. They've got a trampoline in their garden. And another package to unbox. This one has come from Madrid, so I don't actually know what it is. So I will be surprised. I'm sure it's going to be something interesting. Get my fingers. There we go. Really doesn't want to come unglued there at the end as I fight with this packaging. Okay. Warlock. I'm going to show you this. I've probably done an unboxing of Warlock, the base game. I've never reviewed it. And what Warlock is it's an old school Renaissance style game. It's not an old school Renaissance game. It's not derived from Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. It is instead a stripped down, very simple game, or mechanically, that draws heavily from the feel and tone of British role-playing games of the early 80s. So in particular, or early to mid-80s, because in particular we are talking about Warhammer fantasy roleplay and fighting fantasy, and they basically sort of combine the two. It just made this impossible to get into. I'm just trying to get my fingers underneath the sellotape so I can actually show it to you properly. So let's give that a bit of a cut there. Yes, it's really. There we go. Okay. Sorry, this is very securely wrapped, and for that it is to be commended, but it does mean it's slightly harder to get into. So take off the packaging, and what we've got, slipcase edition of Warlock by Craig Saunders, and available from you can buy this via Fire Ruby Designs. And the thing is with Warlock is, I said, basically influenced heavily by Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay in tone and style. Mechanics are essentially roll d20, add your skill, and attempt to roll over 20. That's it. It's very simple. And the core book, there's a reasonable amount of information in the core book. You play certain various types of characters: elves, dwarves, halflings, elves, humans, various different character types, and you can have advanced careers as well. And there's some indication of what the world is like. There is a warlock out there threatening the land, but the core rules themselves don't have a lot of background in them, and they don't have an adventure. But the game itself is very well supported in terms of there are lots of compendiums and expansions which add further magic, like necromancy and stuff like that, and just one supplement, and then other ones which are basically more spells, more careers, some background, and eventually some scenarios. And so we'll get into this. Just be careful with this because it's a nice book. So again, very well sealed, as I struggle with the packaging on this. So what you've got is a cloth bound slipcase set that says 13. I'm not sure what that's for. So yeah, that's very sturdy. And then we get into the book itself. This has a leather or leatherette covering. I believe that's slightly it's a multiple, slightly rubbery effect on that, but yeah, feels quite good in the hand. So you open up, again, the sort of the canvassy feel of that is continued on the inside pages there, just the end leaves here, and then it's anything on the nothing at the back, and then you're into the glossy pages of, yeah. So this is Warlock, the Black Edition, a game inspired by the early days of British tabletop role playing. So we are talking the early 1980s. Oh, sorry, and there is something on the map with basically a map of Grim Berkstock. And this style of artwork is reminiscent of Warlock fantasy roleplay as well, especially the art of Russ Nicholson. Let's just have a look. Do have a list of interior illustrations by Carlos Castillo and Mustafa Bekir. But in places they really do feel like Russ Nicholson and artists you will recognise from back in the day. So yeah, essentially this collects a couple of books. I think basically the first compendium and extra material to an actual scenario, an actual background, and so you've actually got a bit of a world there, explaining, basically somewhere where you can actually go, right, we're playing Warlock and we're actually playing in the Warlock setting rather than going, we're playing Warlock in, just a generic setting of the GM's choice. And again, not decrying that by any means, but it's always nice if you've got a rule book and it comes with its own setting, because what it does, it means it gives you some idea of what the designer intended when he created his game. And this is very much a career and skills game. Almost no stats. Essentially here, we get to the first career, the first basic career. There we go. And look at that. Agitator. Agitator is a classic Warhammer class. And the skills there: Small Blade, Intimidate 10, Dodge, Persuasion, Streetwise. And a quick table for indicating, who you worked for and who's hunting you. And we've gone to Beggar, Boatman, Bodyguard, Bounty Hunter, Footpad, Entertainer, Gambler, Grave Robber. And again, these are all classic Warhammer Fantasy roleplay style careers. Initiate, and so on and so on. Now, much of this you can buy in the basic book direct from drivethroughrpg.com. Okay, this one, the Black Edition, is from you've got to buy direct, and it's not cheap. I'll give you that, but it is nice. You go into the core rules. Basically, very simple. Where are we? Yeah, and other things, you've got Publican and Night Watchman, and essentially what's great about this is that this is clearly in a grim and perilous world. And you have Watch Captain, Charlatan, Explorer, Freelancer, so Mercenary Captain, all titles for the advanced careers, and essentially what they're doing is they're adding further to the stats of the character and the skills. And to further that, the other thing we have is critical hit tables. Critical slash, critical piercing, critical basically crushing damage. All evocative of a certain old school, well, I say old school, it's not, but basically 1980s role-playing game, which is still in print and very popular with a British audience. So yeah, essentially we've got a Kingdom Gazetteer that wasn't in the core rules, that's basically extra information on one of the supplements, and that gives more background. I mean, basically some of it. I mean, yeah, just enough to hint at what's going on, and then you essentially just got more information about the background when you get up to like the setting there and into the description of the city. Grim Bishopstaff. Yeah, so that's your role playing and adventuring content here, and then we've got a table of adventures at the back. So essentially everything you need to play, bar a G20 each and some scraps of paper. That's about it, really. I would say, yeah, this is very nice to have. It's going to look very nice on my shelf, and I will probably do at some point a review of this. Essentially, show what's different, what is but yeah, put that back in the slip. This is very nice. That is Warlock Black Edition from by Fire Ruby Designs. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this unboxing, please click the like button down below. If you've got any comment or feedbacks, then I do take the time to read them and respond. And if you want to see me doing more unboxings in the Nook, please click the subscribe button. I must be getting drunk on my tea. God knows what Louise has put in it. Nothing, because I shouldn't do that. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook, and I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.